and I think they did a fantastic job with that. It was really well done for Cap and for Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man. Thought it was really well done. So, yeah, I am a fan. Even though I wasn't, I've never been a huge fan of Marvel. I didn't dislike Marvel at all, but I'm not speaking from the place of just being a big fan of Iron Man or Spider-Man comics or something like that. I'm talking about it really as a filmmaker and somebody who writes his own science fiction novels that share so much with those movies. Okay, so this is where I shift over and talk about the analogy and what the repercussions of all of the success means for the Posthuman series. So if you're not part of the Posthuman tribe, you're so welcome to stick around and see if you're intrigued by this or not. But for the Posthuman tribe, this is the part you really care about. What does this mean for the possibility of us getting those movies out of development and actually getting them made? Management 360 contacted me a couple of years ago and asked for scripts and saw that the Posthuman series could be a Marvel-like film series, and they wanted scripts to get the ball rolling. So I wrote them scripts for the first two movies. I guess a lot of people who don't know about the business side wouldn't know who Management 360 are, but they're involved with Game of Thrones. They're kind of a cross between agents and producers. So they represent people like Margot Robbie and Channing Tatum and just pretty much everybody. And they also represent directors, and they try to make projects happen. So the two scripts have been with them, and then it's really a waiting game to see who'll bite. And in the meantime, I've been writing my series, and I have filmed my own movie. I made a psychological thriller. I directed it, and it was a lot cheaper because you don't have to pay for insanely expensive VFX. But while I'm making that movie, to introduce myself to the people in Hollywood who don't like to read, and that's an alarming number of execs get beat up a lot, but it's not just that. It's even directors and even actors that don't like to read. There's a really funny story about Tim Burton when they were trying to make that Superman movie in the 90s with Nicolas Cage. They got really far into pre-production before anyone had read the script and realized they need a new script, which is, I guess, shows why they're in movies maybe. 'Cause they like stories, but they maybe don't love reading. So I felt that making a movie was something that I could do, that it'd be in my wheelhouse, and that I could do something. If it wasn't science fiction, I could still demonstrate the ability to pace a movie and to have the audience emotionally invested, care about the characters, care about them as people because they'd seem real, but at the same time make sure that that plot just keeps twisting and twisting. And the tribe understands that that's what the Post-Human series is like too. The series is written to be very entertaining in the form of a novel, but I was using screenplay structure when I was structuring the stories, and I used some of those tried, tested, and true storytelling techniques when I was writing the books, and some of those are things like making sure that you have a 3-act structure. Sometimes you can subvert that, but in the early going, I stuck with a 3-act structure. The chapters are short, much like scenes should be in the movie, usually. And sometimes Quentin Tarantino's amazing at writing nice, big, long scenes that have lots of tension, and that is something that I did in Dangerous on occasion. But in my novels, unless the stakes are incredibly high and I can justify a 10-page or 15-page chapter, the chapters are pretty short, and they end on cliffhangers that draw you to the next chapter so that you just can't stop reading. And that all comes from film. This is something that screenwriters have known for a long time, and I just thought that would work in novels. So I wrote the books, and they've been downloaded millions of times on Amazon, and I got to have this wonderful career as a storyteller because of it. I'm so grateful for that. But the last stage is getting them adapted and turned into movies. The budgets would obviously be pretty big, so it's gonna require partners, most likely, but the fact that Endgame and Infinity War were so beloved, and the fact that Jenny and I left the theater both saying that is as close to the way post-human movies would be. Lots of characters, but lots of time spent with each character so that every character is really important to you, that you really care about not just the characters, but the characters' relationships with each other. Tribe members and reviews are always talking about how when a new book comes out, it feels like you're visiting old friends again. And I feel the same way when I'm writing a new installment. There'll be 7 books altogether in the series, and I'm on the 6th one. The 6th one will be coming out momentarily. But by the time I get to the 7th movie, which will be many years from now, but by the time I get there, I'd really like to take a crack at Endgame's box office, because I think we could do it, and I get chills when I think about how much fun we're going to have, and how fun it'll be to watch the movies, but how much fun they're going to be to make them too. So we're definitely on the right track, and everything that I've been doing over the last couple of years, making Dangerous to Know, and at the same time that I'm writing the longest book in the series, it's been worth it. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you again, Tribe, for being incredible, and I want you to remember that you can do anything. You're so hardcore, it's amazing, and all you need to do is kill fear. Okay, I gotta go back to writing. I'll see you in the next one.